Hello there and welcome to Stamping with Val, and today I want to share with you this gorgeous little baby card. Okay, this cute little punch art bear is made using the new Fox Builder punch. Now, he's not my idea. I take no credit for him whatsoever. I saw him on the website, I saw him via Pinterest on the website of a German demonstrator called Nicole, and a link to her website is in the blog post, because I believe in giving credit for other people's ideas. She didn't do any instructions, so I've kind of made that part up as I've gone along. But I just thought he was so cute. Punch art is actually not one of my strong points, but other people are fantastically creative about it, and we all have, the things that we're good at. But he's just so cute. I couldn't resist sharing him with my class and with you guys. So thanks to Nicole for such a gorgeous idea, and let's go ahead and make this card today. I'm going to start off by making the little bear himself. And I've made mine from chocolate chip cardstock. So I've got my Fox Builder punch. You just need to punch one. And you really only need the head and the body. You don't actually need, oh, and that little tiny nose thing. You don't need the other pieces. So if we go ahead and punch that. So we need the body, the head, and the tiny little triangle nose. And the rest of the pieces can go. To go along with these pieces, we're also going to need the bit for his nose, and for that, somewhere I've die cut some pieces. Here we are. So I've die cut this sort of slightly off circle. This is using the smallest die, the smallest circle die from the Pyramid Pals dies. Okay, and I've cut that from crumb cake cardstock. I've also die cut a little bow like this. This is actually from the large balloon die set. I can't actually remember the precise name of it, but the one that does the big balloon and a banner. This bow comes from that. I've done that in Pool Party. And then finally, we need to do his little feet. And to do that, I've got some crumb cake cardstock again. Where have all my stamps gone? Here we are. I'm looking in the wrong place. This stamp is from the Fox Builder, the Foxy Friend stamp set, and it's the little paw. And we're going to stamp that in black ink. I'm using Memento, but you can use the archival. I'm just going to stamp two little paws onto my crumb cake cardstock, and to cut those out I'm actually going to use the Owl Builder punch, and I'm going to use this smallest circle here. So I'm just going to pop that in, line my paw up in with the circle and punch, and then the same for the second one. Punch, end up with all sorts of bits I don't need, but where's our little paws? There we are. Let's get rid of all the other bits. They're gone. So here we are. Here are all the elements we need. Oh, that's a bit of rubbish. We also need to turn the fox ears into more like bear ears. So for that we need a pair of paper snips, which I hadn't brought to the table. There's always something. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut little round the triangles off to create little bear ears instead, trying to get them roughly the same on each side. I don't know how Nicole did it. Maybe she used a punch or something, but this is just how I've done it. So there we are. There's his little bear head. Now he's going to need some eyes. So I'm using another one from the Foxy Friends, which is one of the eyes and nose. I'm going to stamp the whole thing. The nose will disappear under our punch art, die art nose, so that's okay. So we'll go ahead and stamp that onto his face like so. That's in the black again. Now we'll make up the rest of his nose. So we're going to want a tiny dot of glue. Your fine tip glue is probably the best for this. If you're able to manage a tiny dot with Tombow, then go for it. But you just want the tiniest of dots. I always struggle to get the lid back on my fine tip glue. And then go ahead and pop your nose on. Okay, getting there already. Now to stick those to the to stick these pieces, they're raised up on dimensionals, but you only want tiny pieces, especially for the paws. So I'm actually going to cut a strip from what's normally like that waist edge, and then from that cut tiny little squares like so. So we'll pop one on the back of the nose. I'll go ahead and stick that to his face. And straight away he looks more bear-like, doesn't he? And then another little bit on the back. Oh, can't see, it's so tiny. On the back of each paw. And then these are going to attach onto the body, sort of into these rounded bits. There we go, one. And I've just put the paws off to a slight angle. Try and get them. Oh, come off. Trying to get them sort of evenly matched on his body. There we go. So just the last few bits to assemble and we're going to have our little bear. So to finish our bear, I'm going to stick the nose to his head. The nose, the bow even, to his head, underneath his nose, but it's only really attached sort of underneath sort of the centre and the left side of the bow. The right side of the bow is not actually glued to anything, so you don't really want any glue there. So I'll put a few bits of Tombow just in the centre and on the back of the left bow. And then I'm going to angle that under there. At a bit of a jaunty angle. And attach it effectively to his chin. Okay. And then finally, we're going to attach his head to the body. And again, it's only attached at the bottom. So I'm going to use another little strip of dimensional. And removing one side of the backing. I'm going to put that along the bottom of his head, basically along that edge there. Because again, that's only really where it's attached. And then we can go ahead and attach his head to his body. So his head goes off at a slightly jaunty angle, and then his paw his paw basically goes in between the two bows. So something kind of like that. There we go. That's how he looks from the back. And there's our little bear all ready to attach to our project. So let's go ahead. I've kept the rest of it really simple because I want him to stand out. He's so gorgeous. So I've got a standard white card base. This is the thick Whisper white, cut in half long ways, so from the short side long ways, scored through the middle and folded. Onto that I've stamped myself a little bit of a background, and I want something to stamp off on. Bear with me. Here's the notepad I've been using to stamp off. You can see I've already been using it. So I'm going to use Pool Party ink, and I'm using the big sort of watercolour swoosh stamp from the Perpetual calendar. Okay, this is quite a juicy ink pad because it's a new one. So that's part of the reason why I'm going to stamp off, but also because I don't want the background. I just want it really subtle. It's a baby card. But I've also found that I have problems stamping this one, so I'm going to pop it on one of the foam mats. So I'm going to take the excess ink off on there. I'm going to pop that once like that. And I'm going to ink it up a second time. Again, I'm going to take the excess off on my scrap paper and then stamp it upside down now, this time effectively, very slightly overlapping the first one to give myself a bigger watercolour area. You could obviously watercolour if you like, that's entirely up to you. I don't really get on with watercolouring and I don't like the way it makes the card all wet, but I didn't want to use watercolour card because I wanted it to be white. So now I've got my watercolour background, we can go ahead and start adding some of our other elements. So I'm going to position him, but I'm not going to stick him down because then if I get it completely wrong, I can reuse him on another card and all I've lost is a card base. I've got the World Just Got Cuter stamp set from Made with Love. Made with Love stamp set. The World Just Got Cuter. And I'm stamping it in Island Indigo ink. And I'm going to stamp that and try and get this straight in the middle, and he would go just underneath my bear. Like so. It's a little bit wonky, but it's close enough. We'll let it go. We want that back. And then also from, I think it's still from the Made with One stamp set, I found some little tiny stars as well. Made with Love, sorry. I'm getting all muddled today, aren't I? So I'm just going to go ahead, some on that side, some on that side. And then all that's left to do now is to stick the bear down. Because he's already got various dimensionals popping them off, I'm not going to put him on dimensionals, which probably would have been my first choice, but it might make it too bulky to go in the post then. Okay. And then he's just going to attach on there above my sentiment, hopefully straight and in the middle, because that's how I like things. And there we go. There's my cute little bear card. Massive thanks to Nicole for the idea of turning the fox builder into a bear. Absolutely gorgeous. I've done a pink version, and this time I've flipped the colourways out, so he's on a crumb cake bear with chocolate chip elements to pop him up. So there you go. I hope you liked today's card, and I'll be back soon with more. Bye.